10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the State of vidIQ address. I am your overruler and CEO, Dr. Savage. As you may know, a couple of months ago, I purchased 51% of all the stocks of vidIQ so that I could get rid of that bum, Rob Wilson, and I did. You're fired! And everything since then, it's been kind of terrible. Listen, I'm not real good at math. As I've tried to cut back on all the resources for vidIQ to continue to try to make a profit, that has not come to be. So I have been looking for investors, and I have found an investor in which to offload all of my stock. I mean, sell to this very smart investor over in the UK. Anyway, he's going to take over, so that way I don't have to lose money every single week, and I can go make it rain in dollar stores. Mr. Whatever your name is, and whoever you, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people that are watching right now?
Oh, Doctor, Professor, Nurse Savage. Thank you.
Why does he sound familiar?
It is an honor and a privilege to be invited onto the vidIQ board. I myself, through similar pyramid and Ponzi schemes, have earned great wealth, but I'm done with that. It's time for a new investment, YouTube. Which is why I decided to invest all of my wealth, all of my cheese, all of my Dogecoin in vidIQ. And you know what that means?
I'm back.
What the?
Dr. Savage,
This can't be.
you've outstayed your welcome.
Now look.
And with a 51% controlling stake in vidIQ, it gives me great honor to say to you,
No, listen, it was.
you're fired! And so with that ugly but very satisfying business out of the way, YouTubers, there's never been a better time to start creating. Let's do this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you, everybody. I am almost back in HD at 720p. Because literally seconds before this live stream began, my camera failed on me. Because I did indeed spend all of my wealth on getting vidIQ back. And here we are, folks. It's the dawn of a new channel auditing world. It's the dawn of a new YouTube education with brand new hosts, brand new auditing, brand new everything. Not at all. I didn't write a script, folks. I'm just waiting for somebody else to come and help me. I guess the one person I should thank for 3 months of channel auditing. He's probably audited hundreds of channels in my absence. He's done a phenomenal job. I think we should all give a round of applause to my fellow wingman, Mr. Dan. Or Jeff, even Jeff. Let's bring on Jeff first. Yes, Jeff, you've also been filling in and doing a phenomenal job. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, Jeff, I really appreciate you filling in. You don't get the hell out of here. We don't need you anymore. Come on. All right. So on to the other person that I really don't want to thank, but I feel as if I need to. He has been hosting, managing, running, setting the live streams, giving you all of the awesome advice, which I've now forgotten about. It is Dan. You can now bring yourself in. It's not Dan. Why is nothing working? Hey, there we go.
With you.
There we
Hello.
go, Dan. How are you doing, Dan? It's a pleasure to see you.
Yeah.
I see those eyebrows are still raising, and you are still gaming and giving all of the advice. It's brilliant, awesome. How's it been? Did you miss me?
Yeah, mostly just giving advice. I had to take all my game systems and sell them when you left.
It's a
Not because I couldn't play them, but because they told me we didn't have the budget for me to have my own personal things anymore. And they were that strapped for cash. So yeah, it's been pretty bad since you've been away, honestly.
Well,
can I please buy a Nintendo Switch?
You can buy a Nintendo Switch OLED.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's other budget for that. Given the awesome super chats that we've been accruing, I think, in my absence.
Oh, yeah.
Also, just before we went live, Dan, we're now seeing these hearts appearing on our live stream and these emojis and whatnot.
Yeah.
This is new apparently, and it looks awesome. And Maybe we need to talk about it in a future live stream. Folks, click these emojis. Let's get these hearts and thumbs up and let's increase engagement, because surely that's going to work.
Let's go ahead and bring on Jeff again.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, there you go. He's back. You don't need to go anywhere. Welcome back.
Cool.
We also have a guest today who we're kind of tormenting through this entire process. Should we bring them in as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you should introduce him, Dan, because I've literally forgotten everything about YouTube apart from 3 things. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be a little rusty in this live stream, but the 3 things I remember is that you should use red text on thumbnails, tags are essential, and we have a CEO called Susan. As long as nothing has changed on those 3 things, I think I'm going to do okay. But I assume our special guest is going to be far exceed any advice I can give to anyone.
Yeah, you're going to do great. We did get some backup in case this happened. So let's welcome in Sean.
Hey,
Sean, how's it going?
dude, I'm fired up, ready to kick the tires and light the fires. And good to see you, Rob. Glad you're back.
Kick the tires and light the fires. I love that as a quote. It reminds me of The Simpsons, where they have that huge tire fire that's always burning in the background. If you remember when Simpsons was good.
I wonder if anybody can guess where that reference is from in the chat. I have never forgot it. It's kind of a military reference, but it's from a movie and maybe one of the greatest movies of all time. Jeff, do you know? You're shaking your hand. You know?
Oh no, I know what it is. I was waiting to see if anybody in the chat got it.
All right, so
we might be aging ourselves out here, Sean.
Yeah. It's we'll see. Top Gun is not the right answer, but someone's given a guess. It does sound like it's from Top Gun. The Rock is a great movie, but that's not the right answer either.
That is a great movie, The Rock.
Your mom is a good guess too, but also not true. Haven't seen that. Jeff, you want to drop it?
I was giving them a chance. I was giving them a chance to see if they got it.
Get it. They're saying Creed. I mean, we're getting off the rails now. I mean, we
got Full Metal Jacket in there.
NASCAR. Will Smith Independence Day. Tyrone wins the movie trivia of the day.
Oh, it was from Independence Day.
Yeah, it was Harry Connick Jr., if I remember correctly.
I think it was Will Smith. Or
was it Will Smith?
Will Smith's in Independence Day, but Harry Connick Jr. said it. Okay.
All right.
Well,
all I remember is Bill Pullman's epic president speech halfway through. It brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
Kick the tires and light the fires. Big Daddy is the full quote. And
welcome to Earth.
A scientist played by Jeff Bluebrand, Bill Pullman. Is that what you said? You were right. Wow. Captain Jimmy Wilder said it.
Some pretty riveting trivia, but we can. I think we should price our audience.
This live stream has changed since I've
There's
been.
probably a riot brewing because usually we get to it a bit faster. Thank you all for being here. If you're new to this live stream, we're going to take less than a minute to explain exactly how this works.
Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. After the live stream, don't forget to download the vidIQ extension where you can get a custom channel audit, daily ideas, and an AI-powered video title generator. Link is in the description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started. I miss that studio.
Do you really?
Compared to what I've just been through for the last hour, yeah.
We want to thank Sean for joining us today. This is Think Media and their channel. Sean, if you want to just take a couple minutes to let everybody know a little bit about you.
Think Media, I appreciate it. And if you haven't heard about the channel, our mission is to bring you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video and YouTube. A lot of camera reviews, tech reviews, how to do your YouTube studio setup, video podcasting, and then some tips kind of like our dished out quality weekly here at vidIQ. And we're a team of creators over there as well. So we got Omar and Nolan. And if you want to stop by sometime, Think Media, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications.
There you go. All right. We're going to get to our first channel. Every week, we take the first channel that's submitted on the gaming form and the non-gaming form. Let's start with the non-gaming form and check out Extreme Relax. 2 words that feel a little bit counterintuitive. Extreme Relax. So they're making 10-hour videos of relaxing soundscapes, things of that nature. Jeff, would you like to start us off? No, Jeff does not want to start us off.
Let's see. So first thing that I'm a little concerned with is I don't think we need to have 4K in every single thumbnail. It just sort of seems like a waste, especially considering that it's also in the titles. I don't think we really need to have that in there personally. And then we're also repeating text as well. So like, let's look at like the newest ones, Whispering Waterfall, but then it's also Whispering Waterfalls in 4K, a stunning look at South Island. So stuff like that, I don't know, that just kind of bugs me. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine. I don't know how Sean or Rob feel about that, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of repeating info like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that I think you don't need the text on screen of what it is because it's already in the title. The 4K, it makes sense in the sense that, like, for any of us have gone shopping for Blu-rays, the 4K golden logo is kind of a branded thing that people can aspire to. So if that was the only thing that was there, although in its red format, I do think it could be potentially unnecessary. And I actually think that while these thumbnails are kind of generally simple, some of them could use help. I think these should be the most vibrant, bright, kind of over the top stock photos of the thing, especially like the moon one. It looks like, which is on the second, right there, experiencing the magic of moonlight. It's just all black and the moon is so tiny, as opposed to like clearly, then maybe that's a photo you took or something like that. Like I would believe that that's actually the moon as it appears in my eyesight out of my window. But like actually getting a insane, vibrant, eye-catching, stop the scroll type of photo of the moon. And then it says sea waves. So maybe it's cresting over the horizon and you see the waves and everything's maybe slightly exaggerated and bright just so that it stops the scroll. Because ultimately, the vision of the channel's pretty dang smart. And once you get a couple breakout videos, I love these kinds of channels because I love looking at can you go to popular on the videos? Just curious what maybe if any breakout. Yeah, so there's a good one is the sea. Notice a couple things. Some of those top ones are all pretty bright. Forest is a little bit dark, but all the top ones have that bright sky, blues, those pop off. The biggest one though with 25,000 views, I mean, that's amazing. And 4K, beautiful and relaxing sea, and partly it would seem you're playing a numbers game of trying to come up with maybe something a little bit niche, something somebody are searching for, but you're just looking to once you get sucked into the algorithm with some click-through rate, topic, and you're just the video that is being suggested and or searched for millions of people or thousands of people that eventually leads to millions of views of people sleeping at night, then just the accolades and rather the ROI of even monetization could be insane, which makes me always wonder when you turn ads on these videos and you have multiple ad spots in the video and people don't have YouTube Premium, doesn't that knock them out of sleep? Because I was like, okay, this could be a very lucrative video and I'm a YouTube Premium user, but I'm like, if I didn't have YouTube Premium, I would not want to, be enjoying my serene sea and then all of a sudden have, a YouTube ad hit me periodically throughout the night. I've never tried it, so I don't know.
Rob,
I wonder if anyone's ever tried the reverse of that. When you're watching a video and then a 10-hour relaxation advert is dropped and it just takes over. I wonder if that's like a interesting reverse psychology. I'm glad that Sean asked to look at the most popular because the theme did seem to be there: oceans, water, that landscape, and also the video lengths were shorter. So the 2 most popular videos are less than an hour, then 8 hours, 5 hours. The 10-hour ones that have been published recently don't seem to be resonating as well. And just in general, this area of YouTube always feels like a high barrier of success because there's such a low barrier to entry, in the sense that pretty much any creator can find some stock footage and some stock sounds and put them together and create a channel like this very quickly. I'm sure we've seen hundreds of these types of channels in our audits in the past. So what differentiates this channel, and it may be focusing on the water and the nature that have seen success in the past, but it is always a challenge with these types of creators who are essentially faceless channels. And so it takes out a bit of the uniqueness. And that is something that the creator is going to have to consider. And if you scroll to the top, Dan, I think in their channel banner, I don't know how true this is, are they doing nature recordings? 360 nature videos, that seems very niche in itself. I would imagine that as a separate channel. Also, relaxing to music might be a separate channel as well. So maybe too much is going on to create a return viewer.
So there is a 360 video that I did see this when you mentioned it.
Yeah.
So it does appear that they are doing a little bit of that. I mean, kudos to them for going above and beyond. I've seen a lot of channels do this, and they take like stock footage and they just loop it forever and ever to get a 10-hour video. Yeah. So I feel like they are putting in the actual like extra work when I see stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Very tough space to break out in. Something that I've been like talking about a lot lately, especially on these live streams, is barrier to entry. If you are making content that is easy to replicate, it's harder to stand out. And a lot of people have channels like this. To this channel's credit, I'm pretty impressed with the views we're seeing, because we've seen channels like this even recently where they were getting less than 10 views per video. And you've even in recent history have over 100 views in some of these. So I think they are doing something in this space that a lot of other newcomers are struggling with. But you guys pointed out a lot of really valuable things, I think, especially when you look at these really vibrant thumbnails. This is what's going to sell your video. Like, there's not much for people to latch onto with this content. So this is everything.
And the last thing I'd say is, from searching, I think there's just, if you're always looking for the angles, so relaxing nature sounds for sleeping. So forced sleep. That's a 42 million viewed video from 10 years ago, and that's like 9 years ago. So that it's the second one there. That's going to be hard to crack open, but I think that's also the dream, is like, you only need one of those. I mean, you need more than one of those, but like, I don't know, CPMs that are 42 million views, you get monetized. That's like some pretty good passive income coming in from a video like that. But then you had some for like sleeping and relaxing, some that's like the white noise desire, one that is live right now that has stop anxiety and depression, relieving stress with nature sounds. And yes, high barrier to entry, birds for relaxation, but just hitting the different niches. And then I think it's also that volume play. That is sort of the faceless channel strategy, is like, I'm going to upload, if I can, a video a day. And in a year's time, if you had a couple get multi-million views, then that actually might be a baseline to make that channel your full-time thing. And over time, as the authority builds, you may be able to niche down. And the last piece would be, I really believe in quality here. I actually have a background. I worked for this company called Healthcare Healing Rooms, where I made custom content for these large screen TVs that they put into like hospitals, because hospitals are such a kind of bummer place to be. And that would be like healing and soothing. And so part of it was this, like the quality of the stock footage, or the quality of the footage you're creating yourself, even the quality of the sound. And I really got into the audio file side. I was getting these different sound effects packs, but some of them there was different levels of how good it was. And so, quality of it, if it really, how crispy is it? How great is the audio? How immersive is it? And some of them go the opposite side as well. I don't know if can YouTube force ads? I know that they reserve that right now, but they say, like, some would say no ads. So even in terms of breaking out, because maybe people realize that they're looking for the video. They're like, I don't want to pay for YouTube Premium, but I've been turning on these sleep videos and I'm being interrupted all night. And so if one said like, blah, 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 relaxing nature sounds, no ads, even in terms of, at least breaking out on the early days. And then you could even delete that out of your title and turn on ads later if the video, there'd be interesting things you could try.
So all some good tips there, some avenues for extreme relax to explore. Thank you for submitting your channel. I was saving my energy on that one because the next one we're going to look at is the first gaming channel that's submitted on the forum. I'm going to call on myself for this one, and then pass over to you guys if you see anything. But we have SynergyGaming, 275 subscribers. And a lot of, it looks like games that are kind of like fantasy based. I can't tell yet. This is like my first time seeing it. If it's always the same game, it definitely seems like fantasy is a theme here. But like, look at this. Some of their videos over 1,000 views. Destiny 2. Okay. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Okay. What I'm noticing already, though, is that it seems like these videos are focused on value. Exploding fragment perk. So it's talking about a specific item in the game.
Yeah.
Deadly Edge Scythe. Yep. Shattered Destroyer Dane's Axe. And then this one, the Sundered Slayer. I don't know if that's an item or if that's like a character in the game. I don't know this game very well, so that's a bit hard for me to say, but not as many views. I know it's only a day old, but this one's kind of in the same boat. Eliminated Zealot so-and-so in 40 seconds with my fists. Kind of interesting play, but maybe it was better if it would have been a vertical short, because 40-second video, you know, didn't meet a lot of views, and you do make shorts. And these look good too. This is very interesting. So I think what I would say is this is pretty cool for a channel that's playing a couple different games. You have some videos well over your subscriber count, well over 1,000 views. It's the more value-based videos is what I'm seeing. Those are the ones that are bringing in the people. When it's more or less confusing, whether or not this is you just kind of playing through the game or providing value, it's unclear to me. And I think that's the problem. You know, we confuse the audience a little bit. So that's my initial gut reaction to this channel. I think they're doing a lot of things right. And the fact that they're able to play these couple different games and still get a lot of similar views on them is really good. They're playing games that are probably matching the audience's expectation. You're switching from Assassin's Creed to Destiny, and it's kind of working for you. I think I saw Destiny, right? Oh, wait a minute. That's Assassin's Creed plus Destiny 2. They did like a crossover thing. Okay, I got confused. Maybe it's just Assassin's Creed.
What I was really encouraged about with this channel, Dan, is that first of all, when I was looking at it, I was thinking, oh, this is just another gaming channel without any focus. The thumbnails are all over the place. But then I started to look at the titles, and instantly it clicked with me that it was weapons, powerful weapons, special weapons from a particular game, Assassin's Creed. And then I seen the channel banner. They've got God of War in there. And I'm thinking they should have been doing exactly the same thing for Ragnarok over the last 2 or 3 months, when that's been a really popular game. I don't know if they have, Dan. If you want to scroll down a little bit, have they covered God of War at all? Because they could almost do like a comparisons weapons between Valhalla and Assassin's Creed. Sorry, Assassin's Creed Valhalla and God of War, since they are setting up the same fantasy. It's a similar storyline, I think.
Well, no, I think I got confused. There's oh, maybe it's these latest videos here, but there's mostly Assassin's Creed Valhalla videos. I got confused by one of the titles.
I'm not seeing any God of War though, and I think like Valhalla came out 18 months ago, but a year ago. God of War was end of last year. And then just looking at the thumbnails, there is one thumbnail that stands out here as like saying that is a tasty thumbnail, whereas the other ones, the text doesn't work too well, although the image isn't too bad. It's the second one from the left on the bottom row, how to become Iron Man. I think that's really striking and really pops. I don't know if others agree with that. Seems more stylized. It's a very different look to the other ones. And I just don't think the text font is, it feels a little old and dated, the text on the other thumbnails. Although objectively the thumbnails aren't too bad. You know, image of a weapon, image of a character, a bit of text, not too complicated. We're just lacking in a bit of stylistic execution.
Well, the fire is super striking, and the gradient on that text and the black around the text makes the whole thing pops very well. And even like the shot composition of the text and the image. So it's like really pretty perfect. Even if you could use less words, that's great, but words in that case works good. And I think the other ones, you have some reverse stroke titles, like the Resounding Stun is kind of reverse with yellow around the outside. It doesn't look like drop shadow, so it doesn't pop the text. And then it doesn't have that same contrast saturation on the other ones as well. So the fonts are inconsistent on other ones. The way that they're almost overdone. It's where design goes too far. And you've got kind of the font meets the double stroke, meets the emboss, but the end result makes it almost harder to read or harder to see, versus the How to Become Iron Man is pretty much perfection. The colors, the gradients, and then the black stroke, it all blends really good. And I agree with that. It does make it pop as a result. And there's sure content matters too. The AC Valhalla one's got 2.3K views, but that one is over 1,000 views. It's also outperforming some of the other ones. I think topic there clearly is performing, but the thumbnail is great.
Yeah, this is my biggest thing with this channel. The first thing I noticed was where the thumbnails needed just a bit of work. I like the principles that they're using. They're not putting a lot of things in the thumbnail. It's a character, it is some text, it's a blurry background. Love that. But like this one here, I noticed that you chose to use the background colors in the text. And again, as Sean mentioned, there's no drop shadow. So it just, resounding stun damage just blends right into the background. So those are the things that they really want to watch out for. Yeah, and I completely agree with Rob's point too about the font. It looks like they've tried a couple different fonts because the Iron Man one sticks out to us, but then this one too, totally different style of thumbnail. It doesn't even look like it's from the same creator. They just kind of put a very basic text on it. So sometimes they're making like a choice not to use the normal style. Like this one has the game logo in the corner and then some text at the bottom. So again, departure from some of the thumbnails we were seeing in this row. So it looks to me like a channel that hasn't quite decided on a thumbnail strategy, but some of the things you're doing are working, especially in this later group of videos. So I'd start to be looking at the ones that have performed well, heeding our advice in certain aspects here, and continuing to iterate and improve. This channel's in a good place, and especially for playing an older game, primarily this Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which probably has, I'm sure they're working on another one. Like there's always like a new kind of thing you can explore with Assassin's Creed. You can probably break out of this once you're tired of Assassin's Creed Valhalla and get to the next Assassin's Creed game pretty easily. So the channel has like growth potential there.
I feel as if I've got one of the hardest things dialed in quite well, which is channel focus and target audience.
Yeah.
And this is represented quite well in the video in the top right-hand corner, the one where it's actually a walkthrough of a level. And you see how that video's tanked?
Yeah.
Because it's not what the potential audience is used to, like seeing the best weapons in the game. And, sometimes that's how laser focused, especially in a gaming channel niche, you have to be. And I guess that's a lesson learned, that they realized that wasn't a good strategy for the channel. They've gone back to what they're better at, which is really focusing in on weapons in the game. Although that one is 48 minutes long as well, so perhaps that's another lesson that longer walkthrough guides are not a good idea for the channel. Too much of a commitment for the audience, maybe.
Could be. So a lot of really positive things here. A lot of times we see gaming channels and we tend to give that same advice of like channel focus. So it's always refreshing to see somebody who is, there's obviously room for them to improve, but they have a couple things dialed in really, really well. So thanks for submitting your channel. Let's see. I want to go to the channel that Sean gave us now. And it is Smokestack Joe's. I'm automatically hungry, Sean. Would you like to kick us off?
Yes. And so really cool channel. We're talking cooking. And the first thing I noticed was the quality of the photography. I think the thing that thumbnails are good in general, the simple text and the text pops, but the photos are so crispy, and the depth of field. I think it's one thing that food channels need to get right in order to stand out, and something that we could learn from. What I also thought was interesting is if you look just 1 month ago, pretty consistently pulling some good views, couple hundreds, even a couple thousand, but the brisket popped off 139,000. And so always encouraging to know, like, you're one video away from really having a breakout video, and success leaves clues. How can you make, part twos? And that's interesting. I think also everybody should audit their channel and consider in a 2023 world that if at the top of home videos, playlist, community, if it doesn't say shorts, what are you doing? I think that there's a big opportunity to be tapping into shorts. I think thinking about mastering shorts, and it depends on the niche. I think everybody can benefit from them, but food for sure. And realizing that these don't need to be 60-second educational videos. They could be 7-second pure stop the scroll that looks delicious with trending audio, or just different things you could probably do with your B-roll or just add into your workflow. And so I think it's a pretty cool channel. What do y'all think?
I love what they've done with the thumbnails in terms of creating a contrast between foreground and background by just basically washing out the color.
Yeah.
And like the food has all of a color and everything else is in black and white.
Yeah,
And
color pop.
they have
cutting board food, like that is a choice.
Yeah, I did this myself for a while.
They have done a part 2 of the brisket. So like they did one 12 days ago, which is outperforming everything else that they've done since that brisket video. So now I'm not saying to this channel that they should become the brisket channel, but could they think of a series of 5 to 10 videos in the next few weeks that accompanies the other content that they're going to make? And I guess my last question to you is, often we say try to avoid using text on food channels, but I feel as if this channel gets it right.
Yep.
In that the text fills part of the thumbnail, which they've already washed out and sort of drained away the color from, but then it fills it up with like an interesting question or a challenge, like this isn't a brisket, or is this beef belly, or and then the versus text as well, and lots of good strategies here in a thumbnail.
They keep it simple with the text, and that works, for what we're talking about here. If you're going to do it, keep it simple.
One other thing I think, as everybody watching and listening could also benefit from, speaking of those tabs at the top of any channel, one of those that is often overlooked is the community tab. And I definitely, now that YouTube's rolling it out to channels with any amount of subscribers, I think that the return on investment of the community tab could be a little bit lower if maybe you're at a couple hundred or even 1,000 subscribers. But where you're at right now with your momentum, you have a community that's coming in. You grew 1,490 subscribers in the last 28 days using my vidIQ window to see that. And you have all this crispy photography from the thumbnails that could be square images, the chance to do polls, ask your audience what they want next, and not just get that information regarding maybe what videos, or even just conversation. Did you watch this recent show? What are you in? Just kind of getting to know your community. But it also just helps keep you top of mind, and those community tab posts can get reach. And so this is a good time to lean into that. And anybody watching, I'm curious what the gentlemen on the call think here. Again, you might as well develop the discipline at any amount of subscribers, but I think there's kind of a tipping point where the return on investment of community tab could be a little bit higher. And at 3,270 subscribers, or wherever you're at right now, I definitely think it'd be worth leaning in, and to the point where you could post near daily on the community tab. You certainly should post weekly, but you could post a few a week, and that's only going to help build and go deeper with your community. It's not going to hurt.
What's the cadence of the video output, Dan? Because they say a new video every Wednesday, but is it literally once a week?
Yeah, 28 days.
Yeah,
the stats on the vidIQ says 4 uploads.
Yeah. So I agree, Sean. They should be posting 2 or 3 community posts a day, probably not the same day they publish a video. And you're probably getting a lot of new visitors to your channel, especially from that brisket video. If you're posting community tab posts, that's going to touch those new viewers again, so you can remind them of the content that you've already made. Just sort by most popular. Is there anything else jumping out, or is it that one video that's really popped for the channel?
There's a couple. There's
a couple. Yeah. So you want to remind those viewers, like, hey, you may have watched this brisket video that I just released, but I made this awesome video about beef back ribs as well a couple of months ago, and that's been really popular as well.
You want to create like a little tornado, because if you got some new people, chances if they just gave you some good watch time on one of those videos, some of those other ones will probably be recommended next because they've been proven. But drop a community tab post, and the proper way to do that would be a square image with a YouTube link. You just get such less views when you do the actual just YouTube link the way that YouTube allows you to do it. And so you might do the whatever, one of those other ones, and therefore to create those continuous feedback loops and try to get kind of a binge session from some of your viewers, so as to really build even more momentum. And you have massive momentum right now. Like, this is also, that's another thing that's, we look at so many different channels. This moment when you're looking at your stats, and you might feel this energy, but you're up 513% in views, 610% in subscribers. This is where I ask, at about this moment, I'm like, man, how do I double down? How do I maybe really lean in right now and step on the gas? Because these waves of momentum, it's about slow and steady wins on YouTube, but it's also about like recognizing these moments where you're kind of breaking out and maybe, you know, doing community tab for sure, brisket shorts, maybe increase upload frequency. And I'm sure maybe the dream too, as this is probably a side hustle, but when we look at a channel like this, you start realizing some of this momentum. It's like, man, how do I gas this even more? You could probably be closer to your goal of financial or whatever it is on YouTube than you realize. And so a lot could be waiting for you on the other side of some strategic hustle.
Community tab tip real quick. When you guys are posting on the community tab, watch the fold. I noticed on this one, the value was hiding behind the fold here. What's your favorite recipe to smoke or barbecue outside? Now, this is what I want people doing with the community tab. I want people asking questions to their audience about themselves, right? Not about the channel, but about their audience. So you're asking what their favorite thing to do is. That's a great way to do it. But you kind of hit it behind this tease. So when people see it on YouTube, they don't actually see the question you're about to ask, which leads to less interactions. So
It should be at the top.
Yeah, polls will be the same way as well. If you put a lot of text in any kind of post, it will get hidden after a certain point. So just be very mindful of these first few lines. And yeah, I completely agree. Post daily. And just, Sean, to illustrate the point you were making, using this button here is basically a no-no. The one that says video, just don't touch it.
Yep.
Image post with maybe a square version of your thumbnail and some text is fine if you want to promote videos on the community tab. But I like using it just to give a little bit of value. We have a blog post in this one. So we did a GIF to get people to stop scrolling. We talked a little bit about a blog.
Or GIF to YouTube video. Square GIF to YouTube video with YouTube. Yeah.
That's the combo.
Rob teasing here in this post. And now quizzes. Some of you might have quizzes. We actually have it. Not everybody does yet, but quizzes are fantastic. Just ask a very simple one-line question. You know, give people some answers. Polls are great. And we do a little bit of promo of podcasts and things like that every so often. So yeah,
wow.
Use this. What?
40,000 people answered that. There's one below.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Use quizzes.
That's incredible.
Everyone needs to use quizzes. It's too irresistible. Like if you give people a little bit of trivia, and it takes nothing to just check, click on it, and we can see how many people I was noticing you can't see this from the outside, but if you're the channel that posted the quiz, you can see how many people got it right, got it wrong, which is very interesting information. I'm not sure why it's not public personally.
The engagement rate tends to be really high as well, doesn't it? About 30 to 40% of people who see the community post engage with it like a voting poll or answering these questions.
Yeah. And another thing that you guys might not know is that if you're not subscribed to a channel, and I've seen this on mobile, there will be a subscribe button, right? See where blinking 3 dots are? You can't see my cursor today, but it's probably about right here on community posts on mobile. So if you're not subscribed to the channel you're seeing the post from, people will see that subscribe button. And we've checked our analytics. We actually do get subscribers from community posts. It's not a ton, but it's a thing. So I'm a huge advocate for the community tab. Definitely be using that when you can.
It takes 5 minutes to do a community post, typically speaking. So it's definitely worth adding to your audience reach on YouTube.
And then the last thing, I know we've been on this channel for a while, but I noticed this Goldies thing was standing out to me. So when I typed this, it started autofilling for me, which means this was probably a trend. Goldies barbecue. So when you can find trends, this is what people ask us, like, oh, how do I even find trends? Like, it's really about knowing your space. And this channel obviously knows their space very well. They knew that this was a topic worth covering for themselves because everyone's going to have a different take on Goldies barbecue. So find more trends like this is my advice for the channel we're looking at, obviously, but for all of you, like what are some tastemakers in your space that have started to like develop a trend? Like Gordon Ramsay in the cooking world is a good example. Gordon Ramsay's always doing something, right? So can you cook like Gordon Ramsay in a video? So just be always thinking about the stuff going on in your space. And this is why it's so important to pick something you're passionate about on YouTube. So it's way easier for you to find trends than if you're just kind of picking a topic. Because I think this will get views. I'll cover this for a while on a channel.
I don't want to continue to labor on this channel, but I do have one more question, which may perk some suggestions from Sean. Can you go to the brisket video and actually look at the description? I'm just wondering if they've have any affiliate links in here or anything to
audio video quality. Really good. Sorry.
Yeah. So looks like there's Pickerton Seasoning. That's probably an affiliate link there.
Amazon
Stuff I use.
affiliate.
Oh, there we go.
Meat
Yep.
stick, yeah.
Glorious. Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice.
The stuff
Well
I use list is such a great list for just anybody for what it's worth. I mean, it becomes passive if you kind of save it. And any creator watching this, what do you use to create? Those could all be affiliate links, but no, those are you were right, Rob. That gets me pumped.
Yeah.
You've developed, it looks like Smokestack. So your channel, should be encouraging. This would be a micro or a nano influencer. And it would seem if you have a Smokestack promo code with that grow company or whatever in there, that never underestimate, if you're watching this, the chance to start doing some biz dev, working with some brands, especially when you have a focused channel. So this is so focused, high quality, and only recently doubled in subscribers. So we're talking, it was like 1,500 subscribers a month ago. So like building up, creating those relationships and realizing that, yeah, you can monetize really early on with some affiliate, get a promo code from different companies, email, reach out, biz dev, affiliate marketing, all the above.
Really, I was saying like this quality here. So a very high standard, multiple camera angles. We like to do video reviews on Wednesdays, so we'll get more into this stuff tomorrow. But this is excellent work.
I'm trying to visit Joe's garage because like this is it's lunchtime where I'm at. So I mean, I'm just at a moment. I'm ready to be the liver king here. Come on, Joe, let's go.
All right. Our next channel up here is TRyan Learns Bikes. I believe this was Jeff.
Yeah. It was one of the ones I picked.
Tell us about TRyan Learns Bikes.
So basically, from what I'm getting from it, at least from what they put into their about section, is they were doing like how-tos on motorcycle maintenance and repairs, things of that nature. One of the things that I noticed though was that they were also doing some, like this second video, which is Toronto Motorcycle Super Show, no fluff, 137 seconds. So I think they're trying to become an all-encompassing motorcycle channel, which cool, that can work in your favor. But I know the how-to stuff and evergreen and showing people how to do repairs on specific motorcycles is probably going to be the bread and butter of what this channel is. If you sort by popular, I'm assuming that it's going to be some sort of repairs. Yeah, carburetor rebuild, fork seals fixed, another carburetor rebuild. So if anything, I'd really want them to focus on that sort of stuff, at least right now as they build up. And then later on down the line, they could expand out. But one of the nice things that I like about this is there's so many opportunities to not only build up that catalog or that library of how-to content around a motorcycle, all those tips and tricks, things like that. There's options for listicle type videos of the top 5 things you need to do as a new motorcycle owner of a Yamaha or a Honda or whatever it might be. But also the ability to monetize, like we had mentioned before. Because when you're talking about these tools that you're using to do these fixes or the parts that are required to these fixes, a lot of this stuff is available on Amazon and a lot of other automotive websites that also offer affiliate programs. So there's so many avenues that you can take with this. But at a glance, like, what do you guys think of these? I thought it was kind of striking, and what really caught my eye was the use of black in these thumbnails. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I get excited because for all the automotive motorcycle channels, thumbnails is a huge struggle. I mean, even the one where you see how to winterize the motorcycle, like when you have the black and gray and chrome and metal bike on a gray wall with it just disappears. So all these thumbnails where you've cut out the bike, which seems, I don't know how you're doing that because it's very clean.
It's really good.
And even I like even the carburetor better with the kind of a vignette, opposite vignette blue behind there. It's just so highlighting the piece. It's a huge struggle when you're trying to show off engine parts or car parts, or how do you frame the motorcycle. So yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. Like when trying to tell the story like that, these are really great. The Yamaha power valve rebuild, it's because it's such a busy, obviously you had to isolate that in some way. And if it's actually connected or attached, maybe I'm assuming they're taking some level of photography. They pull that out, that item out, and they isolate it in some way, or get the image online or something. But worth the time for the clarity, because when there's plug wires and all kinds of other stuff, and it's dingy and whatnot, channels like this can be so utility based that from a search standpoint and a particular carburetor name or something, you can still do just fine. But I think it's a good model of thumbnails in this space for trying to make something that's very visually complex simple.
Agreed. Yeah, and you're not confusing the audience, so they can get that message immediately. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for, and they'll click in. So packaging wise, I think they have a lot going for them, which is one of the things I really like to see. I think more than anything else, I'd like to see them start really thinking about who that target viewer is, and if they want to aim at the largest group of possible viewers that are interested in this stuff, what do they want to know? It's usually going to be the beginners, the people who are just picking up that bike or who just bought one, and start thinking about it in that sense. So I'm hoping that they start going that route with it. But I really like what they're doing as far as the packaging of the content goes.
It's probably not a point that we need to discuss. There was a quite significant gap in posting. Like if you just scroll down a little bit down, so
Right
like
here.
8 months, 7 months, and then all of a sudden quite a significant break, and now we seem to have come back into a more regular cadence. I guess we would encourage the creators to try and keep up that what looks to be a fortnightly posting schedule at this point. And then just right at the bottom, I noticed that there was a particular strength of theirs is where they go really in detail depth carburetors. There's two there where they do super close in-depth detail. Is that like their unique positioning that they could potentially have, in that they go more in depth than anyone else because they have a special camera that can go into all of the pipes, or like as 100 times magnification. Obviously we'd have to look at the videos themselves to understand what makes them so close detail and in-depth detail, but that seemed to be a unique selling point in those two videos. Certainly close view detail as well.
One off the wall suggestion I have, this is without watching their content or understanding any of their background, but when I see stuff like this, I think, wow, if I wanted to make a channel like this, what would I need? And this is where we talk about barrier to entry real quick. High barrier to entry here, because not only do you need to know like how to get these parts and stuff, but you got to like know how to fix them, So a lot of people can't do what you're doing. I wonder if you have a local dealership or repair shop near you, maybe you can work some kind of deal with them if you're looking for more content because of that big gap there. Maybe you can like start fixing little parts for them or something, or work out some kind of way that you can, get some cameras in there and get more videos up. Because I think when I see videos like this, obviously they were very helpful. I imagine a lot of traffic from search. I would want to see this channel build up a huge library of stuff like this, and help a lot of people with a lot of different types of bikes and problems. And to do that, you'd want access to a lot of different types of bikes with a lot of different types of problems. So that's just one place that I'm thinking right now. But without knowing this person's background, they could already be doing that,
Final point as well, Dan. I just noticed the most recent video looks to be another in-depth close look at a carburetor and how to rebuild. So my question is, why is the thumbnail, the text they use, and the title different to, if you scroll to the bottom, the videos that were really successful? In-depth detail, rebuild, close-up detail. Maybe they use that same formula on a video in day 1 and 2 and it didn't work, and so they've thumbnailed or titled it. But I would be thinking I'd try and match it up as close to those other successful videos as possible.
Yeah.
One other thing, I know video reviews is tomorrow, but on that top one, I just saw the preview. If you click on the newest video, I love the lighting setup of the two soft boxes.
Nice. Look
Yeah,
that's
crispy, and then obviously, makes things pop.
Multicam,
3 angles.
Yes, sir.
Goodness.
And so that's pretty cool. And then I was also curious about. Oh wow, we got some dynamic editing on here.
Jeez.
I'm curious how many shorts are coming out, because again, that's another way to potentially increase frequency and maybe just something to lean in on. And maybe it's been a while. I know shorts are hard to see the date without going into it, but maybe just little quick things about the carburetor, or just showing some stuff off. One of the people in our community, Jennifer from the Sewing Report, some of her top viewed shorts are an embroidery machine just doing its thing on a pineapple on a shirt for 8 seconds. It's just showing off, and then it's like titled like cool, but in a particular niche, just seeing something like showing off the way you did custom pedals and whatever. Like, I think learning the skill set of shorts and not thinking it has to just be, hey guys, welcome to the short, you know, or anything like that, but like just cutting straight into things can be really interesting. And that upload frequency. There's an interesting new video from John. I don't know how to say his last name, used to work at YouTube. He was talking about how he got 190 million views in a year. Well, when you look at it, it was all shorts. I mean, he did all right with some longs, but like shorts were the breakout. So at least in terms of top line reach right now, shorts are definitely something to think about.
Yeah. I was noticing this one with 26,000 views, and I think there's a couple things about it that are working. It starts off with a really intriguing shot here, and I think anyone who has any motorhead has probably changed oil before. So already you're capturing a pretty wide array of people who can relate to this right here. And all they're doing is giving some tips on oil drain bolts, and they're talking about the drain plug. And you'd think that'd be mundane, but the video, like, I know you guys can't hear it, but it's moving very quickly. They're giving really in-depth descriptions in a very short amount of time. Like, stuff like this can work in shorts, but the key is not to like bore the audience to death, you know, like just get right into it. And that's what this short did so well. And it's about something that you wouldn't expect to have 26,000 views on. And the other thing too is shorts are showing up in search a lot more than they used to. So answering very simple questions using shorts is a whole strategy in itself. So everyone should be doing shorts if they can.
Is it true you cannot change thumbnails? People are talking about this in the chat.
Well, kinda.
Okay.
So if you upload your short, I don't know if this is only Android or if it works on iOS as well. If you upload your short from your phone, you can select a frame from the editor of the short. I've been doing that on the vidIQ channel. I've taken my shorts, I've put them through my phone, and then I upload them and pick.
Because you have an Android.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you could do it on iOS.
Hopefully everybody gets it soon. I'm hoping it comes to desktop, because
and then on desktop it says, sorry, we don't allow you to change shorts. That's literally like some text.
Right.
Yeah, got
it. Which is frustrating. It's like, okay, you have a space for this. You have a space for this, so this is coming, right? Right, YouTube? Neil?
Cool. It's Green's Wolf confirms if you're on iOS, you cannot. So I create it from my phone. I upload it from my phone. I'm on iOS. I'm in my most recently updated YouTube app. I can't change it there. I definitely can't change it on desktop. I can't change it at all. So that's the current update as of February 21st.
The reason I hesitate too is because I've noticed some of the ones I've selected a thumbnail for, if I watch on another device, sometimes it's not the thumbnail I chose if it shows up on the shorts feed from home.
And it's picking it. So for what it's worth, for all of our frustration and maybe saying we wish we could do that, from a YouTube standpoint, they definitely want engagement and they want time on platform. So whatever AI algorithmic way they're doing that, them picking their thumbnails, like, well, it is what it is. I mean, like, they're trying to find a frame that they think will be engagement, because I've been kind of studying what frame they pick has been interesting. And it's not the first. So that whole idea of it being the first frame, you know, it's almost never the first that I've seen. So anyways.
While we're on the topic of shorts, Dan, can you quickly show the analytic that I discovered today about swipe away?
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. How many people swipe or stay on a short?
Is this going to be for the whole channel, or do I need to go to a short?
I think you need to go to a particular short, Dan.
Okay, let me go to an older one here. Which one did I do real good on? They're all fine. Let's see. Engagement,
I think. Where was it?
Reach.
How many chose to view, swipe away, or viewed? Wow.
I mean, what does that actually mean? Is it like how many people watched the entire shorts before swiping away, or watched 5 seconds, 10 seconds? I only saw this morning, so I'll need to dig into the.
And if you click see more
details, I think that's
not much.
And so see more
shown in feed. Away.
It's so they for sure saw it in the feed, and we just don't know how much time. Shown in feed by content. What is the drop down area of shown in feed by content? Views, metrics,
more metric, and then you can just do that thing where you select other.
Okay,
things.
got it. So view. Got it. So views versus swiped away. So however much time, but I guess the sentiment feels clear to me from how I'm watching shorts. You know, you hang on it, you're like, oh, I'm out of here. And if it's saying 66%. Yeah, you're right. What it necessitates an actual view?
When does swipe happen?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of times I will maybe give someone the piece of, the time. I'm trying to figure out the premise. A few seconds, 4 seconds, 6 seconds, 8 seconds. And I'm like, okay, I'm not into the premise of this. Boom, swipe.
It's got to be a percentage because, I mean, you got shorts that are like 3 seconds long that get millions of views.
So yeah, if you see the first frame, you're like, swipe.
Right.
Versus 4, 5, 6 seconds. Yeah, that would be cool. If you all have friends at YouTube to try to answer that question, there's probably a reason. And these different features do tell us, like some of them have the little hover over box to define it, right? Or the little question mark. And if this one doesn't, then they don't want to give us more information yet.
No, they're being very sly because nothing's popping up wherever I put my cursor. Huh. So hopefully more on this soon.
Well, you know what we can do, Dan? We can do a community post and have probably 10,000 responses to it within 12 hours, and we've got some data to work with there.
So before we go on to the next channel, let's take a look at some of these super chats. We have a whole bunch, and we'll just look at a handful right now. So Joel gave us a super. Thank you so much, Joel.
Hey, thank you.
2x3 Studios. Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here and get feedback. Thank you for being here.
The feedback is I love your channel, Avatar. It's
yeah.
cool.
Just know that if your channel isn't picked, there's notes. Love the channel. Thank you, Cam Citizen. Appreciate you. YouTube is no longer offering monetization for ambient videos. This is probably from the channel we were looking at earlier.
Yeah,
Where's
I added
this
that
coming
earlier.
from?
Yeah, I was curious to know whether that was true or not. And like, does now YouTube consider ambient videos reused content to that extent? And so, if that is the case, and this is kind of a question for Sean, how do you build a business out of it? How do you monetize these ambient video relaxation channels?
I don't believe that's the case, but I understand.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Well, you wouldn't put, as I say, you wouldn't want to put adverts on it anyway because it's going to disrupt the ambient flow of the video. So
yeah, exactly. And I don't know. So I don't know because one of my favorite things is these fireplaces. You know, it's the holidays, it's winter. Put a fireplace on your TV, but I'm YouTube Premium, so I don't know. So I assume that there's advertisements on these, but I think that the thing that's given us clarity is the specific detail they have added about shorts monetization. And they've been very clear about it needing to be original content and not a lot of like repurposed content. There's exceptions to what it feels like every rule where it seems like Google's cracking down on AI voices, reading scripts, but there's plenty of channels that are monetized that get away with it. And sometimes it's the quality of how it's done. Like maybe they're grandfathered into that program. Maybe it's you could say it's not fair. I don't know, because there's plenty that get it, but I've seen many that are newer channels trying to like leverage a lot of AI tools, use AI voiceover, AI script, AI editing, and actually hitting some targets in terms of being qualified for monetization and being disapproved because of the content format. So I just feel like it is kind of a moving target. It's the risk you take when you're jumping into content that's not your own likeness, your own. But I would say, how hard do you want to push? I think if you do put out quality content that's, Nolan on the Thick Media team, for example, has started a new basketball channel that is leveraging other people's content via fair use clips of Luka and different people. And he got monetized quick and approved and went through, appealed some things, had some videos and went through the process of appeal. And then actually on the other side of crossing his T's and dotting his I's, now videos like aren't really getting flat. So it's kind of seems to be like the way you conduct yourself and I'm sure there's people that are very frustrated and maybe are doing things at a high excellence level. But if you're going to go ambient or fair use or faceless, like you got to rise above just the people that are putting out just the lowest level. I think to have a prayer of getting monetized and passing what it seems like YouTube's doing is they're just trying to crack down on the mass AI production of content, lowest barrier to entry, as y'all mentioned earlier.
We have one here from Philo Rogue. Thank you guys. I asked about live streaming last week and it went better than I thought. So congrats. I've seen people doing, according to this graph, percentage of you are not subscribed. So hit the button. Should I use that? So I'm sure you guys have seen this in a lot of videos. They pull up that percentage, subscribed, not subscribed. What is everyone's thoughts on that? I think doing that kind of cheeky thing once in a while is kind of fine, but I've seen people overdo it. So I would just warn you not to annoy your viewers. It's not about getting subscribers to them. It's about they're here for value.
My friend Ruslan, I'd like to publicly call out and say that he has created an ad spot that he plays inside of his live streams. And he's like, in just a second, we'll be back. We'll be like, hey, most of you guys aren't subscribed. And I have heard that thing so many times, Ruslan. It needs to stop. Like Dan is exactly right. It has gone too far and you need to stop it. Maybe every once in a while, but you need some different ad spots saying different things. So no, I agree. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think it's bad to point out, but how often you do really anything. And I think maybe the deeper lesson is how can you say the same thing in new and creative ways? So how can you give one call to action in 36 different ways? What we need is pattern interrupts. And we have what's called ad blindness, we understand in marketing, where if advertising just continues to be the exact same thing, even if it's a good advertise, like I don't even mean negative advertising. I just mean like, again, promoting your thing or whatever, you're trying to get people's attention. And so if it just drones on, you're like, oh, I've heard this before. I'm like, oh, here we go. I literally am like, skip. I hear it coming and I'm like, I just jump a few seconds past. Like, come on, Ruslan, what the heck? And so I think it's understanding viewer behavior. And so it's not that you shouldn't use that, but you should think about, give yourself a challenge right now. You're watching this stream. What are 10 different ways you could creatively and in a funny, cool, experimental way ask people to subscribe? 10 different ways you could ask people to like. And you don't even need to do that in every video is my belief either these days. But every once in a while, it's a good reminder. And so just try to find a cool new way of doing it.
In live streams, you can actually threaten people and say, if you're not subscribed, then you can no longer post comments in a chat. There is actually a setting to say.
That's actually a great idea. I just think threatening people in general is probably a good idea. Like just in life, marriage, family, never underestimate the power of a threat.
Yeah. How do you think I got this job? I am kidding. By the way, only 78% of you are subscribed from this short.
Exactly.
Goodness me.
That was a lot of our subscribers who watched that short.
That's really
I did want to see it on the channel level though. I can't find it.
Is that pretty high?
For the short, I thought it was pretty high.
Oh, the short.
It was just one short, yeah. Now I don't know how to find it under pressure here.
Okay,
is
on
it
the channel
audience?
level.
I don't know.
Okay. 70% of only 70% of you are subscribed. So what gives?
Only 30% of you are subscribed.
Oh, sorry, I mixed it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Only 30%. I was gonna say, wow, that's a really high number.
25% are subscribed channel level last 28 days. 74% not subscribed.
And what's even worse, Dan, is if you scroll up. No, too far. It's what's the bell notification?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Only 7.8% of you have clicked all. Is it all? I can't read it.
All notifications for your channel.
Yeah.
It's funny how similar. So that's of the subscribed. So a fraction are subscribed and a fraction of turn on notifications.
Yeah.
Typical to YouTube's 5 to 20% on all. Oh, 20 to 10 to 30. Yeah. Wow. What a journey.
So this is what you want to be looking at. This is way more true to what your channel is doing right now. Don't worry about how many subscribers you have, how many returning viewers, how many new viewers. Pay attention to this graph. This is the best graph ever. I just wanted to look at a couple more before we move on to the next channel. This one here is channel AVGN at the end of each of his seasons uploads a 6-hour video of all the uploads using chapters. Should you upload these in playlists or a single upload with chapters over a season? So what they're talking about is, let's say you do a episodic series. When it's all done, you take all of them into one giant video. I've seen a lot of people in the RuneScape community do this because those are already very long, and they'll post a 10-hour video. And that thing gets like hundreds of thousands of views.
I love this strategy. I think you should do it. Of course, you should also do the playlist. That's an entirely separate thing. You're just going to organize the episodes as they come out in a playlist. And there's really, but you're getting a whole new upload from doing this.
Yes.
You're also getting convenience. Viewers like it. People on their smart TV or something want to just turn it on. Chapters fixes it, and it is an original piece of content. Doesn't violate. It's not a just duplicate upload. We call these content marathons at Think Media, and what we'll also do is sometimes do like pre-recorded, but we'll do Q&A in between. So we'll go back over all the episodes. Like we'll do an episode. After it, we'll take like 3 questions, answer those, and then start the next episode. So it's kind of like hosting an old school marathon or telethon. And the reason we call them content marathons is think about like all of The Walking Dead in black and white, Simpsons marathon, literally a marathon. All the episodes have already come up, but now they're playing them all in a row because so you can sit down and binge them all. And so it's kind of pulling that marathon idea into YouTube. You're watching this right now, plan out, you should reverse engineer series that come out 4th quarter. Because all year long, you could be getting ready to do this. And then we've been able to take a week off at Think and still have 5 uploads because we uploaded all content marathons, which was essentially doing this. But what was shocking was a lot of, in a way, they performed, or some of them performed better than the aggregate of the episodes themselves. Multiple ad spots just because it's very long, and we just let YouTube place those. You could probably do it more strategically and like actually put them places. And so they also were very lucrative in terms of ad revenue. So this is a ninja strategy that not a lot of people talk about.
Yeah. And then Sadie's welcoming Rob back. And then before we go back to channels, I want to pull up this one. This is not a super chat. Chris NYC Hot Dog Stands noticed they were on the tab for being audited. So that's the next channel we're going to look at. So I picked this one because I thought it was a really unique idea. I noticed some really high view counts. But from what I gathered from my very short look at this channel, they're basically going to different hot dog stands around New York and trying the different items on the menus.
Cool.
Which I just thought was an incredible idea.
We have not audited a hot dog stand review channel before, and that is a win in our book.
We've done 3 since you've been away.
Hit popular.
No,
I feel like something wild or something shocking. I mean, 12,000, in the shorts, something like, whoa, like this place has purple hot dogs or something, and it's a good niche. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got to go that entertainment level though. I do feel like shorts could really break out. Because I think about what's going to make people want to return. So if you're in Vegas, I mean, NYC, like simply like, why would I subscribe? Well, that'd be a big reason because like, oh, I never even knew about that spot. Oh, I got to make a trip out there. That seems creative. That seems interesting. Anyways.
I wanted to see, I know you guys can't hear it, but I wanted to get a feel. So they're in front of the Met. It's pretty, you can hear the sounds of the street and they're just kind of saying, I'm in front of the Met. So yeah, I did see, I wanted to know because I saw the short where they found Mr. Beast Burger in New York. I kind of wondered what's the vibe of these videos? Like, did they go the entertainment route or did they just kind of go the casual, like, I'm just near New York, let's check out a hot dog stand. So it does feel very casual, but I agree. I would want to see this like a more of a story told. I think the camera should be on you. And I think you should be like, today, like I heard about the stand. It's all the way on the corner of 5th and whatever. I don't know streets. And then, you're on your way there. You're talking about what you're going to order when you get there. You taste it on camera. You tell us about you tell us all about it. And there's probably a little bit of that going on, but yeah, I'd love to feel even more like with a stronger hook, and feel attached to that creator.
Without watching them, and you might be doing this, but really turning it into a show that has segments.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got the Barstool Sports guy has had his pizza show, which has grown quite large. And he would just grab pizza from different spots, kind of tell the story, but he would give it a score. And so you may be doing that, but as people, and if maybe it becomes kind of a meme or kind of something internally, 3.5, dogs or like even something else. And then that pops up on screen. And so, and if it could be delivered rather, I got to throw it. That's funny. Maybe some of these, I feel like could also be shorter. I feel like maybe it's satisfying the viewer at 11 minutes, but the amount of information of how quickly you could get people information about different spots could probably be delivered pretty fast. And if this, we can all learn from this, when you create like a template for a show, there's the opening questions. There's like these channel review has a template. There's the claw, there's the thing. So like, what is your claw? What is your opening segment? What is the logo? What is the branding as the show evolves? And that could make it a little more sticky.
Something interesting you mentioned there, Dan, was including the host, the hero, the protagonist in the thumbnail. Because usually we would say the star of the channel is the food. But I think this is a slightly different angle, isn't it? There's more of an experience, a journey, a story being told. So you think it's important to include the guide to this content as well?
Yeah, I think in this case, I think so. Because we're not making the food. It really is about someone's opinion. You
Yeah.
know, whether or not you're trying to promote these stands or it's just we're on the journey with you. It's going to be a lot easier or more enjoyable to follow if like there's someone's face attached to that content. There's a channel I watch a lot that goes to like the Disney parks, and they tend to try a lot of the new menu items while they're there. And I'm not going to go to these parks anytime soon, but I enjoy the experience of like being with them in the park, and they're explaining when this new food item, like what event is it part of, and they sit down with it and they like take a bite of it and they explain like, oh, it's actually not how it's cracked up to be, or oh, this is actually really wonderful, and that just being there at the table with them is like part of the experience for me as a viewer. And so when it comes to these channels that are like walking around and like finding stuff, you know, on the street, I do feel like that's like part of this, because a lot of people don't live anywhere close to these, but they probably still enjoy watching, you know, and learning about it. Maybe when they visit New York, they'll take a note of different types of stands you've gone to.
Another thing that looks really interesting, if the data confirms this, Dan, again, if you could just scroll down to maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I'm just interested in the view counts then. So if you look then,
It's still very consistent.
that's what. So it wasn't as good as I thought. I thought I saw like a consistent like 400 to 500 views, but all of these are 2,500, 3,000. So actually a little higher. And if you scroll back up to the top, again, they're quite consistent. There's a between 1 and 2,000. Maybe you're just picking up a consistent number of views over the months. It suggests to me that you have a lot of return viewers, people coming back to watch your content, which is brilliant. But is there a bit of a ceiling at the moment that they're not breaking out to a wider audience potentially? And is that because of the niche that they're in, or they haven't had any videos that have what you might consider broad appeal, which those shorts are succeeding a little bit more in?
You know, one other thing I would ask would be, what's the bigger business model? And does that include, like, I think what's so cool about the creator economy is, could you biz dev in regards to, I'm sure that every single one of these stands, or a majority of them, progressively are getting into social media. They're starting Instagram accounts. They're trying to follow people back in New York. There's a very networking to it. It's a very peer-to-peer, street level kind of a thing, which makes me also think about vertical video and telling a story in less than 60 seconds and making it shareable, or even shareable with them, very easy for them to share. And then it takes the vertical video off of shorts to TikTok, Instagram. Instagram's very social, and you could tag them in the reel. You could collaborate with them in the reel, and maybe that also builds that brand up. And so just thinking about how maybe there is a lid on it. Can there be broad appeal from an entertainment standpoint? Sure. But you being networking with these stands, having maybe a service to it, is it that they're paying you to do it? I mean, I don't know if that, you know, but how do brand deals incorporate into this or whatnot? But it could become a thing where your brand grows in NYC in such a way where people want to stop by, you're being followed, you're a paid food critic now, or, you know, I don't know, like, how does it's more of a question than even knowing the answers, is what does the biz dev look like? And realizing NYC's density of people and the social graph there, how do you tap into that, which might also be off YouTube, because shorts is maybe not the same experience as like an Instagram reel of a friend group living in New York. And that I'm sure you're probably telling each of these stands that you're doing this, but if you're not doing that, I think that's interesting as well, how much they'd want to share it, etc.
I work in the city and just tape during my lunchtime and show a little of New York.
I love it.
Cool.
Yeah, really good way to use that free time that you have as well for content creating. Jeff, are you seeing anything? We haven't heard from you in ages.
Not necessarily, man. I mean, nothing that you guys have really already dived deep into it. So I don't think there's really much left to say on this one.
We left you some hot dog scraps.
More than anything, it's I like what they just said. The fact that they're filling in their time, their lunch break to make content like this. I love to see it. It reminds me of when I was working in the city. I would shoot a ton of B-roll in San Francisco of the stuff, like, you know, during my lunch breaks, during the slow times between service calls. You know, I would find a nice place, a quiet library or a bridge or a park or somewhere, and I would just shoot B-roll for whatever product I was reviewing. So just trying to make the most out of your time when you're still working a 9 to 5 and you have a family and things of that nature. So I love hearing stuff like that from creators, because it reminds me of what that's like. Like that's the kind of dedication that it can take to try to get something off the ground. What you do in your free time determines what your life will become years from now.
Strong. 3,000 subs, free time, breaks, lunch breaks.
Yep.
There you go. That's just inspiring. So Chris, best of luck to you. I know you're here right now, so do hope you got some value from that. They said they were taking notes. Rob, this is a channel you picked, Laura Wells Fitness.
Yeah, it was. First of all, congratulations on 500 subscribers that you just hit. And then as I was looking through the thumbnails and the titles, like instantly, you know who the target audience is. Keeping fit over 40. I think that's brilliant. The thumbnails look absolutely phenomenal and fantastic. I wouldn't be surprised if I was looking at a channel of 1 million subscribers, not 500. And so my question is, why isn't this channel getting more views? Because the presentation of the content seems exceptional. My only answer at the moment is they're in a very crowded market. I believe, you know, this type of content has probably been done by hundreds, if not thousands of content creators previously. So what potentially makes them stand out? And so it was just a broad question to all of you, really. Like, because this channel looks as if it's got everything nailed down. Why aren't they growing faster, or why they're not bigger than they should be? I guess, how many videos have they done, Dan? Like, have they been at this for years at this point?
It has been about 8 months.
Okay, so under a year. So they're probably on course. 500 subscribers sounds about right for the progress so far. But then if you sort by most popular, have they done any breakout content? A couple.
Yeah,
Nothing major. Nothing major.
So what I'm noticing here is that these videos all involve this HIT workout, HIT with 2 eyes. And again, it kind of reminds me of the brisket channel we looked at, where they did the Goldie's barbecue method. I kind of wonder if there are opportunities in this space for more like trending fitness things that you could jump on. I don't know the space too well, obviously, but you know, perhaps there's something in there that you can take a look at that is related, not even HIT, but just similar types of workout trends.
You know, what's interesting is to cast some vision for those watching that ties into this channel too. I think what people underestimate, so Laura is a certified personal trainer. I would imagine that's already probably what she does for a living. And it's a good example of why everyone should start a YouTube channel, especially if they're in someone's shoes like her, because probably 99% of her other personal trainer peers are not doing it. She is doing it, and she has 501 subscribers now, because someone watching this probably just subscribed. She's got 22,000 views, and she's just starting to build her brand and build it up. She's only been doing it 8 months. But what's also fascinating is people underestimate the opportunity of a small channel. Like with a channel like this, if you want to do something like do virtual coaching for women over 40 from home or something, like it doesn't need it's big enough to have a business that maybe gives you autonomy from no longer needing to go in, or, you know, and then as it grows, it only gets more interesting. So like the small channels can be monetized in a big way, especially if they're in kind of a how-to training and there's a business model that's clear. Maybe it's some kind of program, you do meal plans for people, you do some group coaching or something like that. And so while of course the goal is to go viral and quote unquote break out, with the awareness and personal brand you're already building. When I went to your website at this point, I didn't see anything that it mainly was just, I'm going to be giving you free workout videos. And so to Rob's point, in a crowded YouTube world, if you were competing just on ad revenue, it may never work. If that was like, if it was this, the goal was to make this full time. But if you were to pick and develop a different business model, you potentially could go all in on quote unquote your YouTube channel in the next 45 days, just from the awareness you have that's already here. And of course, entertainment, different things are different monetization strategies. But for everyone watching this, sometimes you don't need to quote unquote break out to go full time on YouTube.
Yeah. One thing I'm noticing with these videos is the length. I've seen a lot of fitness channels try and target shorter workouts. And that could just be a mindset thing. Like maybe mindset's not quite the right word, but like a theory, like you don't believe that a 5-minute workout's going to be of much benefit, so you're not doing them. I have no idea. But if you know of any shorter workouts, I might test those just as a way to try and like introduce yourself to some new people. I wouldn't necessarily say it has to be your whole channel, but that's just another thing I'm seeing. Everything's over 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So kind of a, you know, we're gonna work you in these videos, but is there, you know, beginner level stuff you could do? Something about the length there might, I don't know, help you introduce yourself to some new people, especially if it's like a video, like a thumbnail and title, like, you know, 5-minute blah blah blah, like just seeing like 5-minute, people are like, that's not a big commitment, you know, I could try that.
You could also probably create 1,000+ YouTube shorts from these. You take a single exercise from this video and turn it into a short.
Yeah.
One other thing to hit, especially as I'm 39, I'm about to turn 40, and I'm like, why does my back hurt so bad? I think that if you feel qualified and as a certified personal trainer, I'm actually literally going to my personal trainer this afternoon. Why? Because of chronic pain. And so one of the opportunities that I think is even more relevant for Fit Over 40 is the angle of addressing a pain point. What's funny in marketing is literally you're just like, what's the audience's pain point? But what's funny in personal training is it's literally a pain point. Like, what is? And so you, rather than just hit workout, no equipment, okay, I just want to work out. But what if it's, so now, and when people have a high level of pain, the best businesses online have the highest amounts of pain. If you rate on a scale from 1 to 10, if they want to solve the problem at a 10, you're in a really good niche. If they want to solve the problem like a 1, it's okay, but like, I might look that up later. I may or may not try it. So if someone's like, I'm starting to experience, I work at a desk job, work out for a desk job, I have wrist pain. And then, you know, from your standpoint, that right there could be a whole new set of videos that could be like testing different verticals, something that leads to massive awareness and what is happening for Fit Over 40. You know, that's definitely about the time where you start dealing with some stuff. You got some pain here, some pain there, and like work this muscle. If you've got, I just actually bought a product called the Iron Neck, literally from working at a computer, and your neck starts to hunch forward and, you know, pinch nerve and these different deals. And it's a physical therapy device and a rehab device. Affiliate marketing gets interesting there as well, because that dang thing cost me a lot of money. And so, but you find tools like that are still accomplishing your same goal, but as you say, workouts, mindset, and wellness, helping them on that wellness piece that's not just burning fat or building muscle, but actually solving specific problems in the body. And every one of those problems is a very searchable point that someone could discover you. And then they work with you for life. They're a subscriber for life because they solve that pain, but now you're helping them with all these other workouts as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. A lot of fantastic advice there for Laura. We have another channel here pre-selected. This one's from Jeff. Becoming Nyrell. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Jeff, would you like to kick us off?
Oh, sure. Sorry, I didn't realize we were going to keep doing the pre-selecteds. All right, so this one, the main thing that really came across to me on this one was the thumbnail strategy needed a bit of work. And that was something that I immediately came across. But that's just one part of it. But there's also some focus that is also lacking here. Because if we go back up to their banner, they're doing the and this and this and this. So there's a lot going on. There's money, there's mindset, and there's fitness. Those are literally 3 different niches in 3 separate people. So now we're trying to find that the people that are in the middle of this Venn diagram of 3 completely different topics. And that can raise a lot of problems. Not saying that it's impossible to grow a channel. They've got 786 subs, but you're putting yourself in an uphill battle right from the beginning when you're throwing out all these different topics. And that's one of the things where I think a bit of focus and you know, one of the things that I got from Sean really early on was the analogy he made about being a laser versus being a flashlight. Like that was a big thing about focusing your channel and really picking that niche and diving into it. That can really help you. It helped me greatly on a personal level. And I think this is something that they're sort of lacking at this point.
Yeah.
So if you contrast this versus the channel we've just looked at,
Yeah,
the contrasted target audience, and you look at this channel, and within 3 seconds, you know if you're in the right place. You go to the other channel, and it's a little more gray areas. And you got some journaling, gratitude. You got this completely bizarre thumbnail in the blue one in the right hand side. Like, where did that thumbnail come from? What happened there? And then we see some what looks like Vlogmas, and so yeah, it feels as if the creator hasn't decided on their target audience, and they're testing out new target audiences live instead of maybe taking a step back and going through a process outside of YouTube before then focusing on the audience for like 10, 15, 20 videos.
Mm-hmm. I'm noticing a couple standouts here. I want to see if they're the ones. Yeah. Okay. So they actually have a few that are in the thousands, and these feel targeted to a very specific audience.
Ah, right.
Yeah. And when they stopped doing this type of like every single video, so I noticed this one, it had like 800 views. I'm like, oh, that actually seems like it was, you know, it had a very specific value to it. Learn from my mistakes before giving up your home. So yeah, a lot of stuff for, again, a particular audience. As soon as you broke away from that and you started doing Vlogmas and gratitude journaling and all this other stuff, you know, we see the views drop. And I don't think it's anything personal. I just think that you're no longer catering to the audience that originally subscribed to you.
Yep.
And it's nothing, I'm sure it's none of those people have anything against what you're doing now. It's just that it doesn't resonate with them. They had a specific reason for coming to you before, and now you're not doing that.
What's also, when you go back to popular, it shows you that like strong topics, one-off, can do very well. Self-publishing on Amazon, it's a great topic. It'd be a great channel, all about publishing, self-publishing, how to make affirmation cards, or even like niche DIY greeting cards and stuff. That's a great niche. I know, you know. And then you have the housing stuff. Interesting, because that's like a very, I don't know if that would scale to a whole channel. Maybe it could. You have to figure that out. And then how to do the typewriter effect in iMovie, like very practical. I got 1,000 views. It's also really good as well. And interestingly enough, if it was all about self-publishing, let's say, which definitely by far, you know, was self-publishing, you could go about like software for it, whatever, and maybe make it a promo video. Well, then actually like how to do the typewriter effect, although it may attract some people that are not in there, it could be related. But yeah, those are some divergent topics. I know, echoing what everybody else has said, but it also just proves that you can pull views. It's making a decision of where do you want to steer it, and to steer towards a level of focus and discipline that it takes to potentially also not, you know, divert too far from that core promise.
Yeah. And that's not to say that you have to make the same video over and over and over. Not at all. You can still take that approach of using the different video buckets, but identifying the content that is resonating with the audience. And even if you only make, let's say you make 4 videos a month, and even if you only make 1 or 2 of those on that topic, you still have room to make those other videos. So, you know, we're not telling you have to make the exact same video every time, but you can at least do what's working for your channel and let that be a cornerstone of your content strategy moving forward. So there is some flexibility in there, but yeah, I totally agree with what you guys are saying. And I hope that, I hope I'm saying this right, Becoming Nyrell, I hope they can take something away from this.
So you've been submitting your channels, and you're hoping that you're going to get selected. If that sounds like you, then maybe this will help. It's the claw. I forgot you had that.
Yeah. Oh, it came through. Excellent. Hang on. Come on. We'll put Jeff full screen. Come on.
Oh, well,
Come on, Jeff.
Jeff's kind of tired of the claw, I've noticed.
Thank you.
We don't get that.
I like Clobbert. I don't mind Clobbert. That's my dude.
My son to the trampoline park, and they had a claw, and I had to pay $5 because you had to spend at least that much if you only had a credit card.
Dang.
And so we clawed a lot and ended up with a bunch of little toys we do not need and he does not care about, but it was fun.
Oh man.
Super claw day.
So I'm gonna set the claw to a number that should get everybody. I'm gonna make sure it's muted, and I'm gonna pick 290 from the non-gaming form. All right, it's teaching music.
Song recipe. I like the channel name.
Let's see, they have 3 videos.
2 weeks. Been hustling.
Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah. Latest video took off for them.
Awesome.
254
We definitely
views.
see a lesson on screen though. He uploaded a 84-second video and used hashtag shorts.
Yes.
2 things. Number one, you don't need to use hashtag shorts for everybody. Like if you just don't need. I'm not even a big fan of putting hashtags in the title of shorts. Maybe there's other thoughts on that. I don't know how helpful or not helpful they are.
YouTube's encouraging it, but I don't know why.
Okay. And if anywhere, bury it deeper, which you did at the end, but you don't even need the actual, use a better hashtag that's niche related, not shorts. Okay, right. Cool. Secondly, if you cross that 60-second threshold, you can't get back. So anyways, it's a video. It's a vertical video that is over 60 seconds.
Mm-hmm. So yes, for next time, get yourself under 60 seconds. Seems like a good video though. Let's talk about their lighting a little bit just from these two here. This to me is good lighting. It looks like they're in front of a window on the first video, but these two, it seems that they're going to need to improve that a little bit. We saw this recently with the channel.
That will increase viewer retention. Like data has scientifically shown lighting will increase audience retention, especially because you're looking for some contrast. You're looking for some pop. That is a very nice studio on the one you just clicked on. The like, and even the way it would probably be darker in the background if you add some light to you, that'll look great, but you disappear into the background.
Yeah. A key light or a hair light to help separate them from the background.
We're getting a lot of views on this one for how unclear the title is, but I guess
I was wondering if it was a combination of a thumbnail and a title, if they complemented each other. But
hanging up my guitar hangups. I'm assuming does it mean it was a hesitation to start playing guitar? Why did I wait so long to hang up my guitar hangups? If you confuse, you lose. And I mean, you are pulling views, so you always got to look at the data, not just this guy's opinion. But I'm just obsessed with writing great topics and a really clear topic, really good title, and that becomes a big opportunity of what's the value in it for the viewer. But also, I would sideline a lot of our comments on the fact that you're literally only 3 videos into this.
Yep.
And so like just starting and like, great job. Okay. And a lot of shorts.
Cool.
So like.
And better lighting in all of these as well.
24 videos into this. And these look, daily songwriting. What do you guys think about the format of daily songwriting? Like just kind of this idea as opposed to like a one-off, more search-based or suggested-based interest video?
I have this interesting thought about shorts in that if you can find a title that works, I almost like wouldn't change the title at all and just use almost the same title with every single short. I've seen people do this with stuff like top 10 websites for productivity, and they just use that as their title in every single shot
100 times.
And then so what was this in this case? It was daily songwriting, and each one is getting about triple digits, so they're having consistency as well. Some of them haven't done too well,
far outperforming the subscribers.
Yes, absolutely. So I would be happy to test that at least in the inception of a channel,
and cracked 1,000. So 1,100 And I wonder what about them, a daily songwriting, the mighty diminished or something else. So that's interesting.
Let's go popular here. There's a couple that are over 1,000. It's because it's music. It could literally just be people like what they're hearing when they stop scrolling. And so certain songs are better than others for them. That's simple. But I'm glad to see them using shorts. I have to imagine this was probably where they started, and then they kind of tried long form videos a little bit. So, I mean, getting a pretty good knockout success here for your third ever long form video is a really good thing to see. Ultimately, I think I would love to see this channel in like a couple months from now, you know.
And new channels now have access to the community tab. This channel only has 34 subscribers. Previously, you had to wait until you had 500, which could be, you know, in Laura Wells's case, 9 months down the road. It's very early days, but there's no reason not to start posting because it only takes 5 minutes.
Yeah. So thank you for submitting. Yeah, definitely check out that lighting. Keep working on titles and thumbnails, and you know, keep at it. If you're a musician, if there's any song trends that you think you can riff off of a little bit, grab your guitar and just start playing some kind of popular tune in shorts. You know, people hear something familiar, they're going to stop scrolling. All right. Let's check out the CLAAAAW again. We're going to pick a gaming channel this time. 324.
So what's the popular type of gaming channel that we audit these days? It used to be Roblox, I think, was a big trend when I
not much has changed.
Time off. Still Roblox, is it?
A lot of Minecraft, a lot of Let's Play, and this is why everyone's been hearing me constantly.
Whoa! What did you see that? Just go back to the form. Why is it music.youtube.com? It's interesting.
Oh, what's this going to bring us to? Why did they?
Whoa.
Wow.
What? Why did they link it this way?
We're in a new era. Can anybody do this?
I don't know.
I'm gonna try now.
Yeah, I'm gonna tweet it out. music.youtube.com/thinkmedia.
I think our channel could show up this way, but it's bringing me, every time I click, it brings me to YouTube Music.
Yeah, that's weird. Why would you want to do it? Yeah, I don't get it.
If this is the link you're sharing with people, it's confusing.
Yeah,
because it's hard to browse your channel like this. I'm just gonna while you guys look up that, I'm gonna go ahead and just type this in.
There's like weird playlist thing. It is a thing. It's weird.
They've tied YouTube Music so closely to regular YouTube that's probably why that's happening. Everyone has a music page and they didn't even know it.
There's like playlists of songs though.
Oh, like, on theirs?
Or maybe it's the short that we use. So music.youtube.com/channel/ thinkmedia TV. Certain videos have songs in them or something else that's featured, and there's like suggestions below it. It's just a weird experience. I've literally never been here. Anyways, back to you.
Interesting. Maybe it's because of shorts, they're using certain songs. Well, you've properly distracted us. Congrats.
Can we move on to the next channel, Don?
Yeah, I think we could. I think we got a lot out of that. So this, if you were asking the most common channel we've been seeing lately, Rob, I would say it's this. It is channels that are kind of just hanging out. There's a lot of different games they play. They're just kind of posting stuff. And I'm seeing Warzone. I'm seeing Last of Us. I'm seeing Rocket League. I don't know what Green Hell is, but that's there now. But we're looking at a channel with over 1,000 subscribers, so I'm kind of curious. I'm going to say they did not get their 1,000 subscribers from gaming videos.
Yeah.
They had a lot of maybe what amount to meme videos. I have no idea.
Or lore, maybe.
Yeah. And they've swapped to gaming on the same channel. And that's probably the larger problem for me than the music link.
And there's a lot of Apple related content like Johnny Ive and, Steve Jobs. And so, and I mean, some of those videos did super well 11 years ago.
What stats? Do we have any stats on the channel, Dan? I'm just wondering if we're still getting views from those videos from ages ago, which could be.
Oh, you mean in here?
Yeah, probably not.
It's nothing's popping up. That's trending.
Stats.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, 2,000. So it's probably 99% down in views. Okay.
Wow, interesting. So was this like a recent 6
Could
months?
just be a video. What happened there?
Huh. So something late last year kind of spiked for them.
It could be that they unlisted and then relisted some videos. That could have thrown the stats out as well. Unless there is something with 250,000 views here.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
This is the most stumped I think we've been in a while. If like at every turn, there's just another thing about this channel that stumps us.
Yeah. This is just my opinion. I don't know if this is really YouTube advice here, but given the slew of stuff from a decade ago, which has hundreds of thousands of views, and today you're getting less than 100 views per video, I would be tempted to just start a brand new channel from fresh and say, whether I'm going to play Warzone or Rocket League, that's a game I'm going to focus on for the first 25 to 50 videos to define a particular target audience with what I want to do. But I don't know if I'm offering that advice. It's just if it was it's like when I start a new video game and I like choose the wrong class or I just don't like the way I'm grinding my character in a game and I just want to start all over again. That's the attitude I'm coming from, not necessarily YouTube advice.
Well, I would say if you were monetized and you are getting passive income off of these old videos, like if they're still bringing people today, you do not want to get rid of them. But you also don't want to have these gaming videos on here. When you got people coming in from these videos, they get recommended one of these videos and they're not clicking on it. You know, you're slowing yourself down in a big way. Start fresh and don't feel like you're starting fresh because you already have some YouTube experience under your belt. The next time around is not going to be that bad. We recommend starting with one game or topic. If it's Rocket League and there's other games you play that are similar to Rocket League, that's fine. But going from The Last of Us to Rocket League, think about the crossover there. How many people enjoy both of those? You certainly do, but a lot of your viewing audience, probably not as much. There are just dedicated Rocket League communities. There are dedicated communities for games like The Last of Us, or this might even be the TV show. So yeah, really consider a target audience for your content and start fresh.
Question for you, just in the weird chance of he probably definitely is no longer wanting to go the direction of 10 years ago. But let's say this alternative option, would you recommend he actually go back and enlist all the new stuff and build on whatever this theme
this is? Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like it looks the iPhone, Steve Jobs, Apple, Wi-Fi, all that kind of stuff. It seemed like that's a direction to go. The Meta, and maybe there's not enough. There's some interesting, divergent, different topics here. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Like for somebody, would you go back?
I'm going to go
out and gone two directions, and now it's like it's even more confused.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and just based off of the thumbnails, the titles, and the video lengths, I think there's a lot of reused content here. Like a full documentary in Metal Gear Solid 2. Did this creator make it?
Right.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that.
Right.
Did they get an extremely rare interview with Gene Roddenberry? Again, not sure.
Okay. I didn't. Yeah, you're right. I didn't know if this was like their commentary on stuff, but just seeing the lengths of these videos, yeah. So I think it's time to hit the reset button.
Got it. Fair enough.
Personally, especially if that's what's going on the other side of this channel, but we don't really know. But yeah, check out some of our other content. We talk about this kind of thing all the time, especially our gaming videos, where it's like, hey, like maybe focus on one audience rather than just I'm going to play whatever I want and just kind of upload it to my gaming channel and ask why I'm not getting views.
Very quickly, what shorts are they up to?
So it looks like a lot of first-person shooters, seeing some Grand Theft Auto or something similar to that. Couple tuck off. This one has 7.5K views at the bottom there. Let's go to popular.
Well, look, Modern Warfare 2, like a solid selection of Modern Warfare 2 content that did pretty well. Consistent views.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that could be something you do for long form videos later on. Like you go in more in depth on Modern Warfare 2 or whatever Call of Duty comes out next. So yeah, there's potential here, and I think getting bumps and views like this is all the experience I'm talking about when I say when you start over, you're not really starting over. You've done this before. You've been down this road. It's not going to be, you know, as long as it took you to get here, it's not going to be the same chore all over again. All right. Let's look at some of these supers because we got a ton of them. I'm afraid we're not going to get to all of them at this rate. Thank you for your supers, though. Let's see if we can hit these really quick. Gaining 3,000 subs a month currently. Recreating past content that inspired 10 to 12K per month sub growth. But in the last 3 weeks, uploads are tanking, and I can't figure out why. Ideas. So they're posting some videos that are tanking in the last few weeks.
Y'all believe in seasonality, and that, of course, we always want to take extreme responsibility and all that stuff, but that sometimes you always do what you can and you never pass off blame to the algorithm. But sometimes there are ebbs and flows. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
Without seeing the channel, that's the.
Sorry, I would just say you're probably being hard on yourself because I opened up your channel, Christy. I think we have a tendency to get so close to the problem, and we use words like tanking. And so you're getting thousands of views, 3,000, 9,000, 5,000, 4,000. And so if you're not getting 10 or 12, you're like 5,000 is tanking, where it's like, you know, seasonality. It's not tanking would be 1% of like what you were previously getting. So anyways, all right, next one. I know
that's a really good insight. Tried your daily ideas, went from 300 average views per shot to over 1,000 views in 12 hours.
Nice.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Just so you guys know, there is a deal going on right now. It's just for you. It's our secret page. It's linked down below. And you can try vidIQ for 30 days for $1. That's just for you guys. If you share it with anybody, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. We're going to have a stern talk. Okay. But it's just for you guys. It's down below.
We won't be mad.
I'll be mad. Oh, yes. Yes. Correct. Okay. Oh, let's see. Yes. Thanks for the review. Thumbnails were different because I didn't know which style to use. God of War is actually my next game for content, and I have live streams of Assassin's Creed and soon God of War. So this was a channel from earlier, just thanking us. So thank you to you.
I would say start the God of War stuff now. Well, because if you go on Google Trends right now, the trend of that game is, as somebody just used the word, probably tanking in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, don't wait. If you put your shorts in a playlist, you can create a thumbnail for them as they sit in the playlist.
I think that was in reference to when we were talking about marathon content.
Yeah. But we were talking about thumbnails on shorts, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So interesting. So you're just saying, but like for the top of the playlist rather than the individual short?
Maybe. Whenever you post a thumbnail on a short, or whenever you used to before they took it away from us, it is only going to show up in certain areas on YouTube, and YouTube just kind of chipped away at that. So maybe the playlists are the last place that thumbnails on shorts are lingering.
Sure.
If I had to guess.
So, yeah, it wouldn't probably, yeah, short shelf. If it was like, you probably wouldn't be seen there or whatever. But yeah, good. Yeah. It's a good point. That's interesting.
The currency of CLP, by the way, was Chilean pesos. So thank you. And I think 5,000 of them. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. All-Star Gaming, my channel has fallen in views recently. Is it the content? We're not going to be able to audit your channel based off of Super Chat, but if you're asking us, is it the content? I kind of wonder if you might already know the answer. It might be the content.
I get a feeling that they kind of are answering their own question and they're looking for validation of it. If you feel that your content's not good or that people aren't resonating with it, then it sounds like you're willing to accept responsibility that it's on you and how can you improve it. And that's where research is really going to come into play. And that's a big thing. That's the homework that many creators, I think it's what separates, successful creators from the ones that are just kind of floundering, is how much time are you willing to dedicate to researching your niche, your topic, and your target audience, right? How much are you willing to put into that grind in order to take your videos to the next level? If you're willing to do that, then that should be your next step.
Mm-hmm. Is 8-to-1 ratio of views to subs good?
I don't know.
Thanks, Rob.
Is it,
what's that percentage?
Yeah, is 8 the views? Because it sounds...
It's an impossible question to answer because for search-based utility channels, that could be really good, but for like a personality channel, it could be really bad. And ultimately, you could have no one subscribe to your channel, but if there's people that are returning to watch your content, even if they don't subscribe, that's good as well.
I'm increasing my subs by 8 to 10% a month, but 90% are from shorts. How can I get my shorts viewers to watch my videos? I'm guessing they mean long form videos.
Threats. Back to the point. Yeah, I think that you have to threaten your audience more. That's a joke from earlier in the stream. Shout us out in the chat if you were there at the time.
You always want to know the secret. That's it. You want to know how we get all these views?
Subtle threats.
This is a great. I want to hear your opinion, because this is obviously an evolving thing. Shorts are new; they're 2 years old, but they're they just got monetized. And I'm curious because they're saying the chains of communication, but viewer behavior is kind of different on both. So getting people to do anything is like almost impossible. You can like try to influence it, but you can't really you can't force it. And so, here's my take. I, as a consumer, and I think there's different ages, there's different, if someone like says, hey, hit subscribe because 80% of you aren't, that doesn't influence me. I choose to subscribe because I'm like, wow, I love this channel. And with zero call to action, after some experience with the channel and wanting to maybe just kind of see when they release new stuff, I hit subscribe. If I hit a short and it comes across my shorts feed and I'm fascinated with the creator, no call to action or pinned comment or anything, although that stuff's all cool, really pushes me over the edge. I might go, man, this person's fascinating. I click through, I maybe watch more shorts or longs than I choose to subscribe, or I see what else they have. Or so that's just me though. So I'm just curious, is there a best practice here, or is it just create great content on different formats and allow people to self lead them, discover different places? Thoughts?
My theory on this as of late, a little bit different. I feel like there are shorts viewers and they don't tend to watch longs that much. Just like before, there was no shorts and we just had long form videos. Now this new thing is here for so many people. I've been basically trying to tell people, hey, there's this whole new audience that are shorts viewers. Some of them are not going to come back and watch long form videos. Some of them will, but you don't want to beat them over the head with asking them to subscribe or things like that. Like when they have time to sit in front of their TV and watch rather than being on their phone. Like let's say you're commuting and you watch YouTube on your phone on the train or something. You don't have time to sit there and really pay close attention to a long form video, but you get home, you turn your TV, you pop up the YouTube app. Now you're in TV viewing mode. You have your dinner in front of you. You're about to watch some YouTube. Hopefully your channel pops up, and it will, because YouTube has tried to make that connection now. People who watch your shorts get recommended your long form videos. Then you could get them that way. But I think asking them to come in and hey, come on, watch my long form stuff. It's kind of like this losing battle, because you're just wasting time in the very, very short video, the less than 60-second video, to ask for that favor. Where if you just left them with a really hot tip or something they remembered really well, now they're more likely to check you out without asking, but some of them are never going to, because some people just like watching shorts. They just they pop up the YouTube app and they're just swiping shorts and they're like, I got everything I need. So those are just views on the table as far as I'm concerned. It's just a different audience. I don't know. Hopefully I answered your question, Sean. I kind of went a different direction.
No, that's what I was looking for. I appreciate your point of view. I think it's an evolving combo, but yeah. Do you all watch both? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do all of you watch shorts?
No, I do.
Not on YouTube.
Then you watch TikTok.
And Reels.
Wait, you could do that? Shorts somewhere else?
Huh.
Where? Is it on music.youtube.shorts?
Music. Facebook Reels. So oddly enough, I found I'm evolving. So yesterday I always watch YouTube during lunch, and I sit here and I eat lunch, and I turn on shows, I check out my subscribers. I watched all shorts yesterday, and I was pressing the down arrow on my keyboard because it loops until. So I was kind of eating over here, and I was like, all right, and I was kind of. And I will do it a little bit on my phone, but that is interesting. I'm having to almost learn a new viewing behavior and seeing, and as the algorithm improves, my experience improves as well.
Yeah. I've been watching them on my TV more and more. because it's easier if there's two people in the room. It's easier to do that than to get my phone. Oh, look at this funny thing.
Shorts on TV. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
the
and
short
that's
shelf
that is a legit thing.
Yep.
I mean, even the way they're being recommended, like they are being recommended. There's kind of the way the homepage of YouTube on TV. I watch YouTube on TV every day that I'm home. Like it's Apple TV. I've got my remote. Sit down there. My son watches Blippy. He calls him Blappy. And then he gets 5 minutes, and then Dad gets the 5 remaining hours of the evening. So that's the way we run it here. And so, anyways, but yeah, shorts find their way. It's crazy they're integrated into smart TVs.
And it's the same viewing experiences on a phone, except you're just using your remote to push down instead
of down arrow.
Swipe. Yeah, and it's still vertical, but it takes up as much of the screen as it can. It's great. I prefer it over watching on the phone now. So
do you watch shorts if you're watching this? Full stop, 628 people watching, pull the car over, be safe. A full response in the chat. Do you watch shorts? Yes or no?
So I've just got this vision in my head now, like people have got the phone and they're going, I can't get it on camera. They're like, we're just driving around, and then Sean says, stop the car. All right, okay. I'll stop the car.
Hey, that's me. I'm driving.
Yeah, shorts are cool on the TV. Some people watch both. A lot. There's some passionate no's and nopes and rarelys.
Yeah.
So it is still an evolving thing for sure.
Sean, Old Man Gibbs says in the last Max session, they asked about buying me a coffee, that website, Buy Me a Coffee. And you said yes. Thank you for that. I received my first donation. Oh man, did that feel awesome.
It's amazing. Awesome.
Hey, Dan, what is Max?
Oh, that's this thing. Here.
You need to remove a comment. There we go. Yeah. Oh, it's just a t-shirt. Oh,
yeah, yes. It's a t-shirt you can buy.
It's merch. It's a private merch line only available to vidIQ employees.
Yeah.
And so on the back of a shirt, does it say go to buymeacoffee.com?
That's right.
Yeah.
vidIQ Max is our group coaching program. We don't have a lot of time to talk about. What? I'm sorry. We don't have a lot of time. But check it out, vidIQ.com/Max. That's the link, right, Jeff? It's probably linked down below. Trust that one better.
Music.com vidIQ Max. /studio.
Oh my gosh. Okay. My first YouTube short got 7 million views in 2 weeks, but I have no long form videos. What?
First short got 7 million views
in 2 weeks.
Well, what I will say is if you go study the top 50 channels pulling the most views in a month, 37 out of 50 last week were shorts only channels. So I don't know what that means. I know exactly what that means. It means that 37 out of 50 were shorts only channels. But I just mean in terms of monetization, brand deal, or whatever, it is possible to like not have long form videos. Like you don't have to feel pressure there. But on the flip side, depending on the business model, I don't know what y'all have been seeing, but even our shorts that get crazy amount of views, we're still pulling like 36 cents, like $1.22.
Yeah.
And long form, we just had a video generate 10K with a minimal amount of views. It was a longer training in like a month because it did have multiple ad spots, which is incredibly high value. And CPM was high because education and some different things and what it was about. So all that to say is like, there's a case for both, but there's no reason why you couldn't go literally all in on shorts.
Yeah. In terms of variety content, would you suggest it's better to focus on a specific game initially and then branch out, or start out doing I guess they mean starting out as a variety channel, the viable path. I like starting out with one thing and developing an audience from there. And then if you're going to branch out, you'd want it to still be relevant to that audience. And hopefully by then your personality is what's really shining through. It's the way you play the game. An example I use a lot is Let's Game It Out. And like that guy's playing a different game all the time, but it's the way he plays the game. He goes in there and destroys the game. And so I watch no matter what the game is. I don't care. I just like the way he plays it. So find that through line, and it helps. He does play similar games that would appeal to the same audience, but it's always something else.
This is why we found the SynergyGaming channel at the very beginning with Channel Audit Stream interesting, because we're focusing on the epic weapons, and you can take that through line to the next game, which was God of War, and then what comes after that and after that. And so that means they're not stuck to one game. Their through line is I'm going to cover the most detailed weapons in this game, unlike any other creator on YouTube, and I'm going to be the place to be that authority.
Yeah. So there you go. Let's see real quick. Cokeman says they make video games. So congrats. Welcome to YouTube. Jake Griffiths Photography. I said that way wrong. Thank you for the super. And then the last one here is for Rob. Dr. Savage would like to apologize to Rob and hopes he'll let him back on the stream again in the future.
We shall see. We shall see.
All right. That's everything. You're all dismissed.
Can I just give a huge shout out to John, our secrets agent who helped design that brilliant video at the very beginning of the live stream. Very much appreciated. And it helped me regain control of vidIQ. So I salute you, John Savage.
Sean from Think Media, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure. Thank you, vidIQ family. Old Man Gib, appreciate you. Telltale Fart. Grateful that you're here today. Midnight Flies, Tish moderating, Slavgard moderating, Calvin moderating, work in progress. Super grateful. Sending y'all love and respect today and appreciation. And one of the best shows of the week. You can't miss this. You got to be here. You got to submit your channel. But really the gold is all the nuggets you learn from some of the most brilliant minds in the space here at vidIQ. It's always, I always get smarter when I hang out with you guys. I appreciate you.
We appreciate you. And we appreciate all of you for watching. Thank you so much. I still haven't found the outro. I've been just scanning for it. Oh, I found it now. All right. See ya.